was sending messages to people that I know, like my assistants and research assistants, to like come join the show, and they're apparently enjoying their 불금.
Oh, really?
You know what 불금 is, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, you were having 불목.
Well, yeah. It was. I think it was more of a stressful day, so ended it with a little bit of a.
Well, yeah, it could happen. Shit happens all the time. You
That's
know?
true. Yeah.
Shit happens all the time, so it's okay. 여러분 오늘 정말 오랜만에 댄을 데려왔어요. 인사 좀 해주세요.
Yeah, 안녕하세요.
아니,
Yeah, this is my first time in 2019.
Yeah,
joining the show.
I know. It's been a long time, right? I mean, oh my God, what's this, PD님? 드라이버 상태 오래됨 검사.
I don't know.
All right, well, yeah, it's been a long time.
I guess it was nothing.
But you know, we've been having a great chemistry together, and like he's my brother, I'm his sister, and we've been together all the time, like creating English content. And finally, in 2019, he is here on our show.
Yep.
Actually, there were so many things going on this year because we moved the studio to my house, the little room here, the pink room. I changed it to. Have you realized like the back color has become pink?
I noticed the back color is pink, and it doesn't come up on the screen, but you've got also like a cherry blossom theme going on up there.
You know where I bought those?
Daiso.
Yeah. I got them for Daiso, and they were pretty cheap, 2,000원. But like it's like it's doing playing a part, right? 2,000원, much more than 2,000원.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, so that's how we've been trying to like set up a new studio here in the room, and people are saying that it looks more relaxing and it looks quite different from the all white setting that we used to have. Yeah. So people like it a lot. Oh, and cool. Apparently nobody's joining our show yet. Anybody out there? 누구 있어요? 데니 한국말 좀 해봐. 그러면 사람들이 인사할지도 몰라.
네. 저희 우리
He knows how to speak Korean. Ask.
아직 모르신 분이네.
모르신 분 많을걸? 한국말 해주세요. 미국 사람 한국말 해주세요.
예, 반갑습니다. 예, 저 미국에서 온 댄입니다. 저 이제 뭐 한 6년 정도 뭐 같이 살고 있었죠.
6년이나 됐어?
그런 거 같은데.
그럼 한국말 더 잘해야 되는 거 아니야?
아니 뭐 한국말 배운 지 이제 18년 됐지. 2001년부터 그냥 우리 뭐 이런 콘텐츠 만든 거 16년이지.
말하죠. 근데 진짜 댄은 한국말 잘해야 되는데 가끔 가다가 there's
hello.
Hello, hi teachers. Hi teachers. That's very like hi teachers.
Guessing from the name, I'm guessing that's one of the people from Vietnam that's watching the show, right?
And there's a person called 인사랑. Hello, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Like, you know, if it's speaking in English and Korean, they're totally different two things, right?
Yes, yeah. That's one big difference is the word order. In Korean, the verb is always last, but in English, it's subject, verb, and then you know.
All different.
So that's one thing that was very, very difficult at first with learning Korean was getting used to, I would have to think out the full sentence before saying anything.
You know, there's a comment here saying 한국말 엄청 잘하시네요.
We're switching between screens here, so I didn't get to see that one.
PD님이 이제 보여주실 거야. 한국말 엄청 잘한다고 그랬어. Anyway.
예, 제가 한국말 처음 배울 때 미해군 통역병이었었는데 그래서 이제 뭐 잘해야 되는 거죠.
한국말만 잘하는 게 아니야. 한국 술도 잘 마셔요. 자기 나라 술, 미국 술이 뭐야? What's the American alcohol?
Well, I guess you could say like whiskey,
vodka보다 소주를 더 잘 마셔. 소주를 너무 좋아해. 소주를 나보다 좋아해. 난 소주 안 마시거든. So that's it.
I think the thing with what you drink, like soju goes well with a lot of Korean dishes. So like in America, I've only had soju maybe like 3 times in America.
Oh really? Because it's very expensive, isn't it?
One, it's very quite expensive. Yeah. 2, it's hard to find. Like there was a place when I was in school in Albany. There was like a Korean mart, but it was like almost an hour drive away. And when we went there, they didn't have soju on display. Like, you know, normally they have it in the refrigerators. Instead, a Korean person had to go to the owner and say in Korean, we 소주
있어요.
뭐 4병 있어요.
한 병밖에 없어.
근데 and so he would go into the back and he'd bring back, however many bottles you needed. So
it's like a black market.
I'm pretty sure it was a black market.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a black market, is like under the table kind of thing. It's not official. You cannot sell it officially, but it's like maybe like their cousin might have came to America recently and they had some like soju in their suitcases. Oops, I'm not supposed to tell this. It's a black market thing. But anyway, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the guy selling that soju was not legally selling it. But yeah, so it's hard to find and it's expensive. But also another big thing is usually Americans, when they drink, they'll eat and then they'll go out and then they'll drink cocktails or beer or something, right? But in Korea, it's if you go out, you don't go out and just have alcohol. You always get soju and then jjigae and tang or something like several different side dishes. So
I don't know why, but in Korea, the fattening doesn't come from alcohol. It comes all from the side dishes. It's so many different kinds of side dishes.
That's true.
So you have the tang, which is mostly like very thick soup. It's very salty, normally very spicy and salty. And if you're going out for samgyeopsal, which is a famous Korean barbecue dish, then you'll be eating very fatty meat and alcohol at the same time. So you gain lots of weight. It's so helpful.
Yeah. That's why I look pregnant.
And here Teju says it is so very helpful to have live show before the test. It's the day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You realize Teju, right?
Yeah, I remember him.
He's finally taking a test.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
But
well, he's been one of our regulars for a while now.
I know. And then we're in the beginning to now, his English has improved so much.
Okay.
It's so well organized in sentence structure. So I think he's gonna be doing good tomorrow. Hopefully.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
The day after tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. And 이거리를 인성이가님 says, hello, Gwen. Yes, hello. Hello, how do you do, Mr. TV, should I ask? Okay, so today we're going to get you guys prepared for TOEIC speaking, which is going to be held this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. So let's get on with our first part.
Okay.
Yep. PD님, can we? Part 1 is... Okay, so this is the test that we're going to get ready for, which is this weekend, 4월 6일, 4월 7일. And yeah, it's only 1 hour, 2 hours remaining, 2 hours remaining, maybe 10 hours for some people. So in order to get ready for a speaking test, all you got to do is speak.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, really.
Some people say 술 마시면 시험 잘 봐요. Some people ask me if I drink alcohol, am I going to be speaking English better? Teji, you got to listen carefully.
I would this depends on the person.
Yeah.
I would say I don't think you would speak better, but I think you would be more confident in speaking.
It's going to make you more feeling relaxed. I think that's why people are thinking that they could speak English better.
I think another important thing is how much you drink.
Oh, yeah. Not too much.
If you have maybe 1 or 2 drinks, got a slight buzz.
Right.
But if you go in there
So what you have to do is tomorrow morning, I'm not telling you, 이거 절대로 사람한테 내가 술 마셨다 하지 마세요. Don't tell people that Gwen was telling everybody that you guys gotta go and drink. That's not the thing that I'm telling you. I'm saying if it could relax you and ease you up and have you speak a little bit of English more naturally, it could help you. But I'm not saying that you have to go and drink in 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm not saying that.
Although actually, when I was studying at the language school when I was in the Navy, there was an Army captain in the class, and before a major speaking test, often he would, I'm not sure where he got the soju from, but he would give us a shot of soju before the speaking test and say, all right, this will just
not even whiskey, not even whiskey.
It's a Korean class.
Okay, all right. Okay.
He would give us a shot of soju and then also a piece of kimchi and say, all right, now with that smell on your breath, you'll get a better score.
So are you guys ready? We're going to start English. So you guys got to have not soju, not kimchi, but whiskey, no, beer.
I think beer would be better. Yeah, if you go with whiskey, you might go a little too far.
맥주를 꺼내시고요. 저는 물입니다. This is water for me, but
water here.
Cheers.
Unfortunately.
Cheers.
Cheers with water.
물잔. So we're gonna start with part 1.
Okay.
Let me start with part 1 now.
Okay.
Okay, so here's part 1. So this is going to be our first passage. 첫 번째 지문이고요. 첫 번째 지문은 날씨 예보, 기상 예보,
weekend weather, yeah.
일기예보. So like the first, within the first 10 or several words, you can tell that this is what it's going to talk about. So this is weekend weather forecast, and with the version of the native speaker, because he's a native speaker.
Yes.
이 사람은 원어민이에요.
Yeah.
By the way, I have my passport here.
Oh, really?
I have my passport right here. 저는 한국 사람이에요. 한국 사람.
Yep.
He's American.
My passport's at home.
그래서 미국인이 한번 읽어볼게요. So American,
Okay.
please
right.
do so. Yeah.
Let's do it. This is the weekend weather forecast. Saturday will be a perfect day to enjoy a stroll outside. The forecast is nothing but clear skies, a light breeze, and warm temperatures. However, on Sunday, some clouds will roll in, and there will be a slight chance of rain.
Okay. 그래서 뭐 크게 어려운 단어는 없어요. 제가 보기에는 지금 따라 보다 보니까 이런 부분 clear skies가 아니고 한국 사람이라면 clear skies라고 읽었을 것 같아요. 그치.
I agree, yeah.
So some people might say clear skies, okay, and the word like light breeze. Maybe some might have hard time making the long vowel sound, which is light breeze, but instead you would say light breeze, which is wrong.
Also, I think a lot of Koreans have trouble with the Z sound.
Breeze.
So they might say buriju.
Oh, buriju. You sound so Korean.
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. But anyway, buriju 아니에요. 페브리즈 있잖아요. 옷에 뿌리는 거 페브리즈. 그게 아니라 breeze. Breeze. It's got to be a long vowel sound. Can you say that?
Breeze.
One more time.
Breeze.
All right. And the word temperature, lots of people get it wrong because they have the wrong stress. It's a long word, so you have to have the right stress.
Temperatures.
Once again.
Temperatures.
So it goes on the first syllable, right?
Yeah.
So temperatures is the right way of saying it. It's not temperatures.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah, the rest comes very quickly after the temperature.
Okay.
The pritcher.
Pritcher. So you don't even have to say temperature.
Right.
So it's like temperature.
Yeah, I think probably like British English would be more specific, drawn out kind of
try to say something like British, like try to say it like British English.
Temperature? I'm not really sure exactly.
Temperature.
Probably something like that. I'm not British.
But in American English, it would be more like temperatures.
Yeah.
Temperatures. Very fast. 그래서 tem하고 난 다음에 temperatures. 거의 temperatures 하지 않고요. temperatures. So let's repeat it 3 times after the native speaker.
Temperatures.
Twice more.
Temperatures.
Once more.
Temperatures.
All right. And after that, I really don't see anything really hard to say.
Yeah, I think this is, as far as the part 1s go, I think this is about as easy as they come.
네. 제가 한번 읽어볼게요. It's my turn to read it. So I'm not a native speaker, but actually I was brought up in America. So
I think you count.
I'm Korean. I am Korean person. So guys, listen carefully. This is the weekend weather forecast. Saturday will be a perfect day to enjoy a stroll outside. The forecast is nothing but clear skies, a light breeze, and warm temperatures. However, on Sunday, some clouds will roll in, and there will be a slight chance of rain. 그 roll in이라는 거에서 한 단어처럼 읽어주셔야 돼요. Roll in is like one word kind of expression, okay?
Yeah.
It's not roll, but it's roll in.
Yeah.
It's coming in. It's rolling in like rock and roll. So.
Like rock and roll? I was thinking like rolling thunder maybe?
Rolling thunder. Roll in 막 들어오고 있어요. 그래서 그런 의미로 그 한 단어처럼 해주셔야 돼요. It's got to be like one word kind of expression. All right. Okay, so that was a slow warm-up, and let's see what people are saying about what we were saying.
All right.
He's your colleague.
Is he your colleague? Yes. Yeah, we've been working together for
Actually, he's my brother.
6 years.
Can you tell he's my brother?
Yeah, We're
he's
siblings.
My brother. Guys, he's my brother.
Don't you see the resemblance?
He's my brother. I mean, like, I'm his sister, and I don't.
누나.
이번 주 시험 문제집에 술 마셨는데, oh, there's a guy. He was drunk. Oh my gosh. And you? So did you do did you do good on your test? Let us know.
I don't know. I feel like if it's an interview, I would definitely recommend not drinking alcohol.
You're gonna screw it. I mean, like, what? I think like one glass of soju is fine. It can relax you up.
I think, yeah.
But you're gonna smell.
But if they smell it,
yeah,
I think that would.
소주 냄새 나면 별로 안 좋을 것 같은데. I don't think it's good.
If I were interviewing someone and they smelled like alcohol, I mean, I like drinking, but you know your interview is coming up, so you shouldn't drink the night before.
You know what? Teji said something like this. Thank you for wonderful advice. About what, Teji? About drinking? Or about TOEIC speaking?
It could be a couple things. It could have been the drinking. It could have been the temperatures. Yeah.
And this lady from Vietnam, I guess, Hyun, is saying sometimes native speakers use liking sounds, which is hard for us to hear clearly. What did you say? Something that was unclear for them to understand?
Like from this passage, or
no, let us know. Let us know. We would like to really know.
Give us an example of what you mean by liking sounds. Yes. I think she might mean similar sounds. So like sounds that seem the same.
Yes.
Which are hard for us to hear clearly.
And Moon TV is taking a test on Sunday, and he's taking the Youngdangi lectures, and he wants to get level 8. You know what, Moon TV? If you want to get level 8, you gotta be able to understand whatever we're talking about tonight.
That's a good point, yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to part 2, and which is this picture here. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh. So it's a very simple picture, but actually, as you know, it is a simple picture. You don't have much to talk about, so it could be tough and challenging.
I think in this sort of situation, it's important to look at everything in the picture, because there's not really a lot. Sometimes you'll have a complicated picture and kind of just pick out one or two things to focus on. But here you can talk about pretty much the whole thing, I think.
So, like, looking at this picture, when was the last time, or like first time when you bought a laptop computer?
The first time I bought a laptop computer was 2001. 2001. It was
What was the model? What was it from? The brand?
I believe the first one I had was a Dell.
Dell. So American. So American. My brother is so American. He bought a Dell computer.
I was living in America.
Yeah. My very first laptop computer was from Sony.
Sony? Japanese company?
And they don't even sell laptop computers anymore. But it was 2001 or late 2000.
Okay.
Like 2000 or 2001. And I had to buy a laptop computer in Mississippi, and there were not really good big stores there. So I was looking online, and I bought this secondhand laptop computer on eBay. eBay에서요, 그 중고센터에서 소니의 바이오를 샀어요. So it was a very, like, you know, after like months of research, really it took me about 3 to 4 months to buy this. I did a month of research.
Wow. And
I finally chose this, you know, seller. And I finally decided to buy this laptop computer from this seller, and went to the bank, and I said, I have to wire this money to this person. 돈을 보내야 된다 말했어요. And you know, that lady at the bank told me, girl, you don't know what you're doing. This might be fraud. You gotta think it over.
Yeah.
It's like early days of electronic commerce.
Yeah.
You know?
Although I have a funny story about buying a lot. Well, not so much. It wasn't me actually buying, be receiving. So when I was working here as an actor, at one point I was doing freelance translation, and one person I was translating for asked me, "Also, how do you have your own laptop, or what do you use to translate the emails that I send you?" I said, "Well, you know, there's a PC bang right in front of my apartment. You know, I can use that, or you know, I can use a computer nearby. He's like, oh, you don't have a laptop? You know what? I'll get you a laptop. Don't worry about it. I'll just consider it like a bonus. I'll get you a laptop. Okay, cool.
What laptop?
Well, he asked me what kind I wanted, and I said, well, I'm only familiar with the Windows operating system, so anything except a Mac. Anything that is not Apple, I'll be happy.
He got you a Mac.
And he got me a MacBook. I was like,
wonderful. Wonderful.
Thanks. I mean, I said anything except this, but I can't say no to a free new computer.
근데 저도 맥을 쓰고 있지만요. Well, there's not a significant difference, but I think Windows operation system is much easier for most people.
I think I personally prefer Windows. My brother, who is a computer programmer, he prefers Mac. So I think if people are more tech type people, tend to prefer Mac. But I think more just general people prefer Windows.
I think I'm a general person.
Me too.
So Teji says, in the middle of the picture, a woman wear a purple shirt pointing one document on screen. Okay, Teji, so it's going to be your test day soon, right? Don't try to say, yes, so many things at once. Teji, one by one. So you have to say, in the middle of the picture, there's a woman. One sentence. She is wearing a purple shirt. One sentence. She is pointing at some documents. That's one sentence. So all in all, you could have said 3 sentences, but you're trying to put them all in together at one sentence.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you need to work on.
Yeah, keep them short and easy for this one.
Yeah. And try to give some comments for this one here.
Okay, this is the picture taken in a classroom, I guess. There are 3 people in the picture. There is 1 man and 2 girls. In the middle of the picture, I can see a girl pointing at some pictures. Okay, I'm not sure if I would say she's pointing at pictures, but...
Because it's one thing she's pointing at?
Yeah. Well, also, it doesn't really look like pictures. It looks more like documents.
Yes.
Although, I don't think that's a really huge thing, you know. Overall, I say that was very well done in that what Hyun?
Yes, Hyun.
What Hyun did there, she broke it up into small, easy sentences.
That's pretty well done.
Yeah.
What I would tell you is, Hyun, your answer is pretty much all well done. If you speak it, I think it's going to be more natural because you said something like "I guess" in the middle. Sounds very natural. So good.
Yeah.
And Hyun, you said something more, saying the others are looking at her. Maybe they're making a presentation together. But the thing is, when you put these 2 paragraphs together, it's too short because you have to speak for 45 seconds. And if you want to tell like story for 45 seconds, there's got to be more detail. And if you want to say more detail, you got to go one by one, telling the woman has blonde hair, she's wearing jeans, the guy has brown hair, and he's wearing a hooded jacket or
a hoodie.
So try to provide more detail so you can like fulfill the time, which is 45 seconds. Okay. And Dongwon says something in Korean. He says he got level 7. He wants to get level 7, but he lacks 10 point.
Okay. That's always is close.
It's close. But you know what? The biggest problem here, Dongwon, I don't even have to listen to your English. I can tell that your grammar is a problem.
Okay.
Because level 6 means that there are some grammatical errors quite often. But level 7 means you rarely see any grammatical errors. I mean, I would make grammatical errors from you know, every now and then, but it's not significant. So people would consider me as a native speaker. But if you want to be level 7, you cannot say like grammatical mistake like sentences more than 8 times within 10 that you're speaking. So you have to be more cautious about making or saying the right sentences. Okay, and Moon TV.
Alright, Moon TV 파트 2에서 사진 소매 앞대 사람 배경 숨이 전화.
You know about that.
Does the order matter if you talk about the people or the things around it? I think it's best usually to pick out a main thing, usually the center, and then go around from that. So like Hyun said, there's a person standing, there's two people sitting down, there are some empty chairs, and then you can say there's a projector on the ceiling. I can see windows in the background. So it's usually good to start in the middle and then go out.
All right, so it's normally start in the middle, go out, and also the center of the attention should be people, not anything around it. Like windows and the wall up back there are not so important. So this is what I would do, and I assume that I would get level 8 on this test. Listen carefully to my answer. Well, this is a picture taken at a meeting room, and there are about 3 people. Oh, hold on. Like, the timer is crazy right now. Let me set up the timer again.
Okay.
타이머가 이상했어요. The timer was crazy. Once again. Well, this is a picture taken at a meeting room, and there are 3 people in this picture. In the middle of the picture, I can see a woman. She has brown hair, and she's wearing glasses and a purple shirt. She is standing up and talking. She is pointing at a document on a wall. And on the right side of the picture, I can see 2 people. One of them is a woman. She has blonde hair. She's crossing her legs. And one of them is a man. He's wearing a blue hoodie, and he is using a laptop computer. And both of them are looking at the woman standing in front of them. And in the background of the picture, I can see big windows. And on the upper side of the picture, I can see some light. And maybe they're having a meeting. Maybe they're talking about their work. Okay.
Work.
Because I was seeing the time.
Yep.
There was like 1 second reminding it. I didn't want to say work. I want to say work.
Work.
So what I was trying to do was try to describe the picture, more centralizing the people, like trying to focusing more on the people. Yeah, and he says 문TV says 감사합니다. What did we say about 문TV? Something. Oh yeah, about the people in the like.
Where to
background.
focus on?
Yeah.
Which to order.
선생님 옆자리에서 시험 보는 사람 맨날 털릴 듯. Oh yeah, that happens several times. Like my students, like sometimes when they go take a test, like I would be sitting there, I'm like, hi, and they're like, yes, yes, Gwen is here. Finally, I get a chance to get a perfect score. But then you know what? When there's a person who's really speaking good English sitting next to you, you listen to them. You don't get to copy them. You just listen to them. You're like, and your test ends.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting next to me, it's not a lucky thing. It's an awful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It might seem like a good thing, but if you actually do it, it's probably not that helpful.
Oh, you know what? This is a question that you should ask. Should we speak American English or British
English in TOEIC speaking?
You know what? Recently I've been doing some research on British English. British English. Okay. And you know what? Oh, let me. So, there's a quite difference between British English and American English.
Yes.
I think the more about it is more like an intonation kind of thing.
Intonation and also pronunciation.
Intonation
both are
and
big.
Pronunciation. I'm sorry. All right. Well, he's American born, and
Yes.
I was raised in America, so we have more like natural American accent.
Yes.
But nowadays, I'm trying to teach British English, and there's significant difference. Significant difference.
Right. Yeah, and like for me, I've never really tried to do a British accent.
Try to say that exactly in a British accent.
I've never quite tried to do a British accent.
Oh, that's not British. That's like American trying to do.
Exactly, American trying to be British.
I've never tried to speak. Sorry.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter as long as you're speaking English, people would understand. So although you might be speaking American English or British English, I think the problem here is whether to keep it from the beginning to the end, the American way of speaking English and the British way of speaking English, because there's always dialect. Whichever language you speak, there's always a dialect. And when dialect goes here to there and there to here, it's so confusing, right? So try to keep it one way. If you're going to go for American English, go there like us.
Yeah. Yeah, whichever one you're more comfortable with, try to stick with that one.
Stick with that. 그거 좋아요. Stick with one way. Not here, there, here, there. So British accent is not a problem. New Zealanders, like Australians, they have their own like accents, Aussie accent kind of thing, Kiwi accent. Doesn't matter. Like as long as you're speaking English, people are gonna understand you, right? And for me, the toughest English was like South African English or Indian English.
Well, yeah, because with both of those, I've met people here in Korea who are, you know, native English teachers who are from South Africa. But honestly, I think their English is kind of strange because really the primary language in South Africa is Afrikaans, which is like a mix from Dutch. So they speak English well, but it kind of sounds like someone from Europe speaking English.
Shall we move on?
What?
Shall we move on?
Yes.
So different accent has different sound. This "shall we move on" is more softer way of saying. But some people might say "shall we move on," like kind of. Sorry.
Maybe if they're drunk.
I'm not drunk. Alright, so Moon TV says 옆 사람 목소리 페이스 말리는 게 싫어서 제가 쓸 때 유독 종로 Well, you know what, Moon TV, it's not your choice to be in a separate room. Like they would sometimes give you a separate room and sometimes not. So actually, you would have to get used to speaking English with somebody speaking next to you.
Yeah.
And there's Yun Jung-ah saying, yes, a bit strange. They call a traffic light a robot in British English.
Huh. Yeah, that is strange. And AA there says 아름다우십니다. 예, 감사합니다.
아름다워.
예, 감사합니다.
우리 남동생 아름다워. My little brother is. Thank you. All right, now we're going to move on to part 3, which is this. Would you like to read the directions for us?
Of course. Imagine that an English newspaper company is doing research to write an article. They want to collect information about clothes shopping.
All right, clothes shopping. So how often do you go?
As rarely as possible. A lot of guys, especially American guys, don't like shopping for clothes. I don't like shopping for clothes. Although when I was in college, I also worked part-time at a department store. And so usually in the evenings, if I was folding clothes in the men's department, I would pick out something like, oh, you know, these pants feel really nice. I'll come and buy a pair tomorrow.
You know what? It's never easy to buy clothes. And when I was young, I used to buy very cheap clothes, many of them. But later I realized it's useless. I mean, like, you don't need lots of clothes. You need clothes that you wear all the time. And, you know, even though you have lots of clothes, it's like only you wear some of them all the time. So, like, we're talking about clothes shopping here. And I think, like, most recent time I went clothes shopping was, like, even more than 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't have much time to go shopping. So, let's see what the first question is. And everybody, the first question is this.
When did you last shop for clothes? What did you get?
All right. 3 months ago, I went shopping and I bought a dress. And like when I say dress, Korean people are like, oh, you bought a dress. You're going to have a great party. You bought a dress.
You're going to a fancy ball.
No.
Yep.
Dress is more like in Korean, it's one-piece. One-piece meaning like top and bottom is put together, so it's one-piece clothes. So like those kind of things are called dress. So it's not a fancy thing. I'm not going to a ball or any kind of party. I just bought a dress because, you know, it's going to be spring soon. So I just wanted to have something light to wear. So exactly 3 weeks ago, I went shopping and I bought some clothes and I bought a dress. That's what I got.
Oh, okay.
And it was cheap actually because it was on sale. I want to say that. It was on sale.
Well, that's good.
세일중이었어.
Actually, most recently, I didn't directly go shopping myself, but my wife bought me.
Your wife? Brother. Oh my God. Brother. Oh my God. Your wife, my sister-in-law you're talking about. All right.
So she she bought me some clothes online. So she bought me like 3 pairs of pants, and so they came. I tried them on, and they fit well. I like them.
갑자기 대니 와이프가 생겼네요. 네.
Yep, yeah. It
we
was
had to warn
it was
you guys.
girlfriend for a long time.
Yeah. We had to warn you guys, but he has a wife now.
Yep.
And I have a sister-in-law. Okay, so Hyun says, can you help us pronounce the word clothes correctly? Because that's right. Because you know what? Lots of people would say clothes. Clothes, right? Yeah. That's so wrong.
Yeah. Clothes.
Yeah. So how I tell my students is that it's more like closing a door.
Yeah.
It's
that's
similar
the best.
to close.
Yeah.
So you don't have to actually like separate the sound of clothes, but you would just like, simply say close, and it's more likely to be heard as close. Like you don't actually have to make the TH sound.
Yeah, you can sort of skip the TH sound and get away with it. So clothes.
So it's more like closing a door, but you have to say it slowly. So like you can pretend that there used to be a TH sound, but you're not saying it. So it's like clothes. No clothes. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Clothes. Clothes.
Yeah.
Clothes. Oh, Hyun made a very, very like sharp point on that. And she also said the last time I shopped
for clothes. Was 2 months ago. I shopped for clothes on the Lunar New Year.
For the Lunar New Year.
Okay. I shopped for clothes for the Lunar New Year. Okay.
Because normally in Asian culture, we have to wear new clothes.
Okay.
Like new clothes to get ready for the new year. Cool. And the second question here.
Do you know of a good clothing store near where you live? Do you enjoy going to that place?
All right. He is living in the center of a shopping district.
Yep.
You guys heard of Gangnam? He's living in the center of Gangnam.
That's where I am.
So this is a question for you. Do you know of a good clothing store near where you live, and do you enjoy going to that place?
There are many clothing stores in my area,
such
as Giordano, Zara, Uniqlo,
Universal thing.
Yeah, there's many places to go.
So which one do you go most often?
The most recent time that I was actually at a clothing store and bought something was before going to Jeju. I got like a padding coat. And
padding coat, that's so Korean. It's not English.
Yeah, I know. It's a big winter coat.
미국 감각을 잃어버렸어. He lost the whole sense of being American. He's like, padding coat. That's so Korean. Oh my gosh.
I got a big fluffy winter coat.
All right. There you go. Yeah.
And but yeah, so that was at Zara. We checked around at other places, but I preferred the one that Zara had more than the others. Do you enjoy going to that place? I don't like clothes shopping, so I'd say I don't really enjoy it.
Okay, well, this is what I would say. Do you know of a good clothing store near where you live, and do you enjoy going to that place? Well, yes, of course. There's a place called Zara, and it's quite cheap, and there are so many different kinds of clothes. I can buy formal clothes, I can buy casual clothes, and mostly it's very cheap, so I can save lots of money when I buy clothes there.
Do you enjoy it?
Oh, well, I can't say I enjoy it because I would like to become a British person now. Well, I enjoy going there because it's quite close. Okay. And, like when I pass by there every single day. So I can tell that whether it's on sale or not. I'm like, okay, today's on sale. I go there and buy something. And today it's not on sale. I'm like, okay, let's pass. Yeah. So, yeah, like lucky us, we're living in Gangnam district where all the shops are, and we can tell when they go on sale or not. Yeah. So we can save money on that. But then the bad side of that is we can go there all the time.
That's true.
We spend money all the time.
Maybe you do.
I hardly ever do. I swear to God. I'm sorry, God, but I swear to God, I hardly ever go there for real. All right, so the last question here would be this one here.
Okay.
So,
would you rather shop for clothes with friends or family?
This is a very sensitive question. All right, so now you have a family. We have to talk about this.
I guess.
Would you rather shop for clothes with friends or family?
I would go with. I would prefer shopping for clothes with family with my wife because I don't have much of a fashion sense, and so if she says she likes it, then okay, good. But if she says she doesn't like it, then I probably don't really care what I wear.
In this case, I would think of the English phrasal expression neither A nor B.
So you would rather go alone.
I would rather go alone. You know, guys, neither A nor B, right?
Right.
So I don't want A or I don't want B. So neither A nor B. I would go with that. Let me show you how I would say.
Okay.
So I would rather go shopping with neither my friends or my family because I don't like to go shopping with both of them. They're so annoying and they're so picky. They say so many things. So actually, I have 50 more seconds. So I would keep talking,
I was thinking
I'm gonna say.
You put a 15-second one.
And I like to go shopping alone because I can try on many clothes. I can take my time. I don't have to think about what others are doing, and I can do whatever I want. So I can spend lots of time and not think about the others. So I like to go shopping alone. That's the thing.
All right.
I would rather go shopping for clothes with neither friends nor my family. I would say they're a pain in the ass.
That works. Yeah.
근데 있잖아, 이런 거 있잖아. Pain in the ass. 이게 무슨 뜻이야? What's the meaning of that? Why do Americans or like English speaking people say pain in the ass? This is a question that I was asking you earlier today.
Oh no. Well, you asked why
Something
there are so
different.
many expressions with the word ass.
But what does pain in the ass mean? Pain in the ass.
It means annoying, but I'm not sure the etymology of the phrase. I don't know why they say pain in the ass, but
why ass?
I'm not sure.
그냥 ASS를 많이 써요. Like British English, American English, British or Americans, they both like to use the word ass so much.
Well, I think it like if something's a pain in the ass, if your butt hurts, then standing, walking, sitting are all kind of awkward. So maybe that's why pain in the ass. I'm guessing.
Okay, so here lives. I live in the heart of the city or at center of the city. Makes sense.
Okay.
So there are a lot of clothing stores, but I like the ABC clothing store the most because I like the service there.
Okay, that's good. Stacey, in this case, can I say the name of the shop?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, of course.
You can say Uniqlo. You can say Zara. You can say what's there, H&M. You can say whatever brand.
Or if your friend happens to own a small clothing store, you can say that store's name.
Yeah. And the staff are very friendly with their customers, so I go there once a month with my friends, and the prices are reasonable, so I like it very much. It sounds very nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter like whether you mention the brand like Nike, Adidas, as long as the person understands you.
Yeah. Because
some like Koreans or Japanese people, I'm sorry to say this, but we say Nike, Nike, but Nike, they will not understand it.
Or they might not understand it as Nike, but they might think it's like a Nike ripoff.
그러면 내가 해볼게. I will say it in Korean way, and he's gonna say it in English.
Okay.
All right. Nike.
Adidas.
Uniqlo.
미국에 없는 것 같은데. Uniqlo. Zara.
좀 다르죠.
Yeah.
Uniqlo is a worldwide kind of brand nowadays.
I don't think I've seen it in America.
Because you've been in America so long ago. He's not even American anymore, I think.
I've still got a U.S. citizenship. That's
Anyway, yeah. I'm saying like you cannot say McDonald. You cannot say McDonald. But you have to say
McDonald's.
Right. So there are some different ways to say the thing in English. And you have to keep it so they can understand. Especially, I want to say like people who are speaking other languages, like foreigners, when they're in Korea, they're more likely to be Korean friendly. Like they're more open-minded to Korean people making mistakes. So they would listen to you and say, "Oh, McDonald," McDonald's. But people who are living there, like the real native speakers who have never been abroad, which like Americans are very infamous about.
Yeah.
They're like, huh? What? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
그치, 그치.
Yeah.
미국 애들 그렇잖아.
Yeah.
좀 약간, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, like you were saying, like you grew up in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was in Mississippi.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle, you know, they've lived in Mississippi for I think ever since they got married when they were like in their 20s, so like 40 years.
They're so closed.
So yeah, for them, they have very deep Southern accents. I don't think either one has ever left America. Kind of like my parents too. You know, they're in a rural area now, and my father has traveled abroad when he was in the military, but that was, you know, when he was like 19. So.
You know, Americans, they're so cool. I love Dan because he's so open-minded and he's in Korea. He's so open to Korean culture. But once they have never been abroad, they're so closed.
A lot of people are very closed if they haven't been. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the Americans don't watch this video so much. 미국 애들이 안 봤으면 좋겠어, video.
You know, I've told my family about, you know, like doing the live show, and like
are they here today?
I used to text them before starting, and they've never actually logged in and watched that.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So part 4 is
so we can
this.
make fun of my family. That's fine. They won't know.
Alright, so this is the 4th part, 네 번째 파트요. And I'm here with my hat, so you're gonna notice that I'm here. Dan's there on the right side of the screen. So let's see. So it's about management seminar, and it's happening on Monday, May 7th. It says TSZ Square.
Yep.
Very unique name.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I wrote that one actually.
It says TSZ Square. And it starts at 9 a.m. and it finishes at 4 p.m. and there's such and such and such. And then at noon, of course, you will have lunch. I realized that TOEIC has this very sensitive tendency of always, you know, indicating lunch.
They always want to mention lunch, and also they always want to mention if lunch is included.
Oh, yeah. Why is it so important? I guess it's important.
You know, there was a hagwon that I worked at in Korea, I've told you about, and we were supposed to work from 12:30 to 8:30, and we had no lunch break. We weren't supposed to eat in the hagwon, and we didn't have any, you know, dinner or meal or anything. And that was why when I did the interview for my current job, one of the first things I said was, all right, it's really important that I have a lunch break at some point during the day. And
I guess lunch is important. That's it.
I don't know if maybe that's because there were Americans in Korea working on the test who have had a similar experience. And they want to really make sure that there's a lunch. Because, you know, who wants to go 8 hours working?
맞아. 하루 종일 있으니까 점심시간 중요한 거야. Right?
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It's important to have a break and, you know, some food.
Yeah, and it's going to finish at 4 p.m. And all these names, like what's NA stand for?
Not applicable.
Yeah, not applicable or not available. 왜냐면 lunchtime이니까. It's lunch hour, so you don't have any speakers going on there. So, yeah. So this is what we have. So guys, are we ready to listen to the first question? Well, hold on. Before giving the first question, is IELTS speaking popular in Korea?
I've seen it, but I wouldn't say
I think IELTS and TOEFL is more like people who wants to advance their like education or their work in certain areas.
Yeah, I think those are more if it's a specific job or if it's like going to graduate school abroad.
So it depends, but if you want to get a job abroad, it's more likely that you work on your TOEFL or IELTS.
I think so.
TOEFL is more like academic purpose, right?
Yeah.
And IELTS is more like job kind of purpose. If you whether want to get a job abroad in Australia or Canada or America. I don't know about America though.
I think the TOEFL is more important than the IELTS for America.
Depends, yes.
Depends on which field you're going into.
But you know what? Like, I've taken all those kind of tests. I've been taking OPIC, like telephone interviews, and I've been taking like TOEFL and IELTS, everything speaking. But you know what? The thing that they have in common, as long as you speak good English, it doesn't matter what you take. You're gonna say, of course, if you know how to speak English, nothing matters. But you know what? All in all, in the end, what they want to know is whether you can communicate in English or not.
Yeah.
And you cannot, mimic some skills to show them that you speak English.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just the language itself, communication is the base for any speaking test. I think the big difference with things like the IELTS I haven't worked with directly. The TOEFL, sometimes I've helped the book team with TOEFL, and sometimes it's like very specific scientific type English that I look at it and have to look up some of the words, thinking, why is this word here?
So it's specialized, yes.
Because it's in a specialized use. It has another meaning that I wouldn't normally use.
Yeah. So as long as you speak English, you should have no problem getting upper level of any of those tests, like IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC speaking. But depends on what kind of, what's your purpose? What do you want to do with your English skills? Do you want to get a job, or do you want to go study abroad, or do you want to get a job abroad? I think that's what it depends on. So think about what you want to do with your English skills. But as long as you know how to speak English, actually those test scores doesn't even matter, because as long as people, as soon as people start talking to you, they would realize, oh, this girl knows how to speak English, and that score doesn't really matter. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying right now. But
so, did we actually get into this here?
No, we're gonna go. So we're gonna go quickly. You ask me the question, and I will say the answer.
Okay.
All right.
When will the seminar be held? What time will it start and end?
All right. So the seminar will be held on Monday, May 7th. It will start at 9 a.m. and it will finish at 4 p.m. Please don't be late, because it's gonna start at 9 a.m. sharp.
Yeah. Sometimes with the first question you get more time than you need.
I know. 시간 남으면 그냥 please remember that, or don't be late. Service meant 그냥 그런 거 해주세요. And the second question goes.
Okay. Does the registration fee include lunch?
Of course. It'll cost $45 to register, and lunch... Oh, sorry. No, it's not included. Lunch is not included. If you want to eat lunch, you have to pay $5 additionally. All right. So here, what I wanted to point out is that it's not included. Sorry, guys. Yeah. No, it's not included. That's the main point. It's not included. Yeah. But how are you going to say that? It'll cost $45 to register, but...
Right. I would say it, or probably the easiest way to say it is almost reading from what it is. You can say, well, the registration fee is $45, but lunch costs an additional $5.
All right.
And if you say it that way, then it's almost just reading what's there.
Yeah. Or you can say, if you want to have lunch, if you want to eat lunch, it'll cost $5. And then I said not additional, but additionally. Because if you want to put it in the end, it has to come as an adverb.
Yeah.
So it's a little complicated, but you have to say you have to pay $5 additionally. All right. So it all, is trying to show whether you know the structure of English and whether you know the right grammars to be used. That's what's more complicated. All right. So next one is this one here.
All right. Someone told me that a famous baker by the name of Jeff Hart will take part in the seminar. Could you give me all the information you can about his sessions?
Sure. There are two. At 10 a.m., there will be a workshop on menu price ratio, led by Jeff Hart. And then at 1 p.m., Jeff Hart will give a presentation on benefits of customer surveys. Both of them will be led by Jeff Hart, and you'll see Jeff Hart during both sessions, so they should be helpful if you want to get know more about Jeff Hart. Jeff Hart is a sweet guy. You gotta go.
Jeff Hart.
Jeff Hart. Jeff Hart. Jeff Hart. Jeff Hart. 근데 이제 이름이 되게 웃겨. Jeff Hart가 아니라 Jeff Hart. 그러니까 Jeff 방구.
When you put it together,
Fart.
it kind of sounds like Jeff Fart.
방구. Jeff 방구. 왜냐면 영어로 Jeff 방구. Jeff Fart.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, though there were 2 sessions led by, or whatever, like a presentation given by Jeff Hart and Jafar.
Wasn't that the guy in Aladdin?
Jafar. And yeah, Jeff Hart was supposed to give those 2 or lead those 2 sessions, so I was saying that. But the thing is, you cannot just read them. You have to make them into a sentence. So give a presentation or lead a workshop. You would have to know what kind of verbs to use in order to say them, tell them into sentences. All right. Hun says again.
Vietnam, there are lots of high schools for gifted students who specialize in English, math, chemistry, biology, literature, and those students will train to take an important test for gifted students.
So this is how I see it, Hyun. You know, this whole fad about going to prestigious high schools and, you know, prestigious schools, gifted schools for those gifted kids, it all happened in Korea. I'm sorry, I'm being very practical. It happened, like, for the last 10 years, it happened in Korea. After going, like, saying this thing, maybe people will be criticizing me. But anyway, It happened. And, you know, I'm telling you, it's very important to do good on those tests, but you know what? I don't know.
You know what? I don't know. I give up.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, like, you know, if they're really geniuses, I mean, if they're really gifted kids, I mean, they will be gifted. They are gifted, and they're gonna do, no matter what, they're gonna be doing best at on their whatever, like, they're given. But if it's all based on, like, test purposes, if it's the purpose is taking a test, it's not gonna go far. I'm just saying.
I agree. If someone has talent, then I think that a standardized test is not a very good way to judge it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I know there's this whole industry relying on this special test. I mean, people pay a lot of money to take TOEIC speaking or TOEIC test. People pay a lot of money to take TOEIC or TOEFL or IELTS test. These gifted kids, if they're gifted, they should be able to speak English. I mean, English is not a very hard thing to learn compared to, you know, literature, biology, and chemistry. I'm telling you, it's much easier than those kind of things.
Well, I would say depending on the person, you know, like everyone has their own talents and strengths. For like language happens to be my strength, but I'm the only one in my family who's good with languages, and so like I hate math with a passion. Math is like my kryptonite, but 2 of my brothers love math.
All right, there's another question. Look, I have read an article about Korea that Korean students have to take Vietnamese test to go to university. Is it real? Depends on which university or which like school he or she is applying for.
If they're majoring in Vietnamese, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they
Otherwise, I don't think so.
Maybe for some high schools, they're taking like Vietnamese as their like second foreign language, because our first foreign language is English. And most likely, my second foreign language was French. It was either French or German. But nowadays, I guess Vietnamese could be one. Chinese definitely could be one, the second foreign language. So yeah.
English is the second most popular language in Korea.
I would say first is English, definitely. And second, I can't deny it's Chinese.
Second most popular second language.
I would say English is number 1 right now. And forever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be Chinese. And number 3 is always like different, I think. But right now, lots of people are interested in Vietnamese because lots of Korean people are going to Vietnam for their business, for their like studies. So I've heard lots of people getting interested in learning Vietnamese. It's only that you guys have so many different sounds, like 6 sounds. Did you know that?
The tones?
Yeah, the tones. Like Chinese they have only 4, but your language has 6, which is so difficult to learn.
Yeah.
But still, lots of people are interested in learning Vietnamese. Are you interested in learning Vietnamese?
Well, my wife wants to go to Vietnam, but more as a vacation, and so I don't think that I would learn much more than just, basic getting around type language.
So Vietnamese, let's say it's a little tough for Koreans or Americans to learn.
Yeah, for me, I think a tonal language would be difficult for me because I'm kind of tone deaf.
Tone deaf, really? Well, so that's why you haven't tried to study Chinese?
I mean, not tone deaf like a actual condition, but like you've heard me sing though, right? It's bad. It's really bad.
Recently I've been studying British English through the movie Love Actually, and it's like, do you think so? Do you think so?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Do you think so? Do you think so? So much difference.
Yeah.
So hard. All right, so we're gonna move on to part 5, and Stella's calling in. So you give us the message as Stella, please.
Okay. Hi, my name is Stella Owens, and I run a big electronics retail store. It's only been a few months since I opened my store. We consistently meet our sales goals, and overall, things are going well. A problem has come up recently, though. A lot of our customers call asking about how to use the electronic devices that they purchased. They need help because the new technology is unfamiliar to them. Since more and more people are calling, customers have to wait too long when they call to consult with our employees. The extra funds in our budget need to be used to repair the parking lot, so I can't afford to hire more workers. I was told that you are experienced in the field of customer service. That's why I'm calling you. How would you fix this kind of problem? What do you think I should do? Please return my call at 429-5381 once you get this. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, so unfamiliar technology. Did you hear the news that since today, like Korea and America is starting to use the 5G technology?
Yeah.
There has been a little battle.
Yeah. I'm not too eager about the 5G.
5G.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We're considered as old generation if we're not too eager about it.
Yeah. I guess I'm old.
So they're trying to use new technology, but customers are complaining. It's so hard. So what are we going to do?
All right. So, maybe if you create like instructional videos to go with new technology, then you could post them on your company's website and people could look at that and say, oh, this is how I use the product. Then you wouldn't get the calls.
You know what? There's a very surprising thing. He's my brother.
Yeah.
He's my brother. Dan 결혼 언제 하셨어요? 혹시 아내 되시는 분이 그웬 선생님 아니신가요? My gosh, he's my brother. Hi, Lee.
Yeah,
hello there. 오, 와이프가 들으면 화내요. You know, last year lots of Korean students come to our high school. I asked them where they come from. They said they came from Gangnam.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
That's where we're from. A district in Korea. I'm not sure if they also taught us Korean. Okay. Now, Vietnam is a new world for Koreans nowadays, so I guess lots of people are interested in learning Vietnamese. And for students, like, of course, their parents want to give them more opportunities. So Chinese used to be a very popular language for them to like make them learn. And I guess Vietnamese would be another one. 재환, 수업 중에 무리기를 일으켜주지 않았어요. Don't worry, it's not a problem. People always ask us that.
Yeah.
I have my boyfriend. He has his own wife.
Yep.
We live a separate life. We're just like meeting once in a while. Don't worry, he's my bro. Yeah. So Vietnam, I'm also very much interested in Vietnam, and actually my boyfriend is going to Vietnam tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going there to do some business, and yeah, I think Vietnamese like language is a very interesting thing to learn.
Mm.
Like lots of people were so crazy about learning Chinese. Same with Vietnamese, I think. And 여자친구 있으실 때 라이브 보고 와이프랑 합하기는 놀랐어요.
예, 뭐 이제 라이브 안 한 지 한 4개월 정도 됐는데, 그 사이에 뭐 결혼한 지 이제 뭐 4일?
I was their witness. I was their witness.
She's the witness.
Yeah. 제가 증인이에요.
So we got the customers don't know how to use electronic devices, but you can't afford to hire new employees. You don't know what to do.
That's true. That's exactly what you have to say.
Yep,
like,
there's the first part. Acknowledge the problem.
Yeah, so you know what the problem is. You know, like customers are having problem, but you can't hire employees to help them, and you don't know what to do about it. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Let's see what other responses we got.
Do you know anything about 5G technology? Like how to use it and
really,
where to... That's the thing. That's very similar. Like we're like saying 5G. It's 5G. You have to use 5G, but how?
I'd have to look into it.
So I think it's very important to run a campaign. Like tell lots of people, general people, to tell them this is 5G and this is what you need, like what kind of machine or device. This is what you have to do and this is what you get.
Yeah, actually a lot of times when I leave my office, I go through the coax and Samsung to go to station to line 9, and there's been for the past couple of weeks a big like there's a big opening area at the coax, and for the past few weeks they've had Samsung 5G
store. It's a 5G store. Yes. Similar thing in Gangnam. So in Korea, major parts of the city, they are opening up a big 5G store. They say no people there, but it's all technology. You can order food and you can get lots of services through technology. So it's mainly like, I'm not sure if I could put this like into saying AI, but you use the 5G technology to order things, get things, and
I kind of like dealing with people. I mean,
you're old, bro. You're like you're saying, I'm old. I like the old way. I don't like machines. I don't like technology. Fuck it. But bro, that's saying that you're old.
I mean, I will use technology, but if my choices are like like at a grocery store, there's the self-checkout counter. And there's the normal checkout counter where a person checks out for you. I always go to the normal checkout counter. The self-checkout counter is kind of annoying, and you're kind of doing someone else's job.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like.
For some stores, because you're using the self-checkout counter or you're doing self-service thingy, you're paid less. You're charged less.
Not in America.
All right.
All in a grocery store, everything is all the same prices. There's no extra fee for going through the checkout line. So there's the only benefit of the self-checkout in America is
not wait. Normally there's no line for that.
Usually there's not a line. Yeah.
And normally when you're purchasing just one or two items, it's faster.
Yeah, that could be true. But if you're purchasing alcohol,
you haven't been to Japan recently, right?
It's been a year since I've been there, so
it's all self checkout. It's all self like order placing, especially when
you're
in Tokyo.
I wasn't in Tokyo. I was in Fukuoka recently.
When you go
but like when you walk into a restaurant, there's like the machine, and you have to choose whatever you want, and then you hand the ticket to the people.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Which I
don't like personally.
I don't like. Well, another reason I don't like that is, for example, if you want to have some drinks with your food, when my wife and I went there last year, we ordered ramen and then also 2 beers. And we finished the beers and we still were eating food, and we thought, well, we'd like another beer, but
it was hard because
we'd
you
have
had
to
to
go back up to the front and enter into the machine and put a ticket and then bring that to the counter, and it just seemed more of a hassle.
Inconvenient.
Yeah. If you're only going to have everything in your order at one time, then it's okay. But if you want to add to your order, then it's very inconvenient.
So there's no like humanly interaction saying 저기요.
Right.
여기요 사장님. Yeah. Or in Chinese it would be 小姐, 师傅. Or in English you would say excuse me, hey there.
Yeah.
So there's no that kind of interaction.
Right.
Right. All right, so here's my answer for this situation. And I would say, hello, this is Gwen. I heard that you are running a big electronics retail store. However, there's a problem because recently there's a device that you have to use that like new technology, but people are unfamiliar with that new technology and they're complaining about that. So you'd like to get some help with this matter. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about the situation. However, I'm happy to say that there is a way to help you out. And after looking into the situation, I came up with the following suggestions. Well, first of all, I think it is a good idea to make a very short manual about using the new technology and give them to your customers. That should be very helpful. And moreover, why don't you run a campaign about the new technology so more people could learn about it? I mean, that should be very, very effective. And those are my suggestions. And if you need more help, just feel free to call me back anytime. Bye-bye. I know it's going to be really hard to say it this fast, but what I'm trying to show you guys is that the more you summarize what you heard, that's where you get the point. And the more you give specific, solutions, that's where you get the point. So try to be more specific, which is a really tough thing to do.
True, yeah, and that's why they require that for the perfect score.
I know. And here goes the last question where you could be more telling details.
And what do you think is an advantage of working as a doctor?
Oh my God, I've never been a doctor. I do not know the details of that. I've never been a doctor.
I have never been a doctor. I have friends who have worked in the healthcare field, like nursing, but I don't have any friends who are doctors.
In Korea, this is very unethical to say, but in Korea, when people say you're a doctor, people would think, oh, you make lots of money.
Oh, in America too.
Okay. But like the real reason to become a doctor shouldn't be that I want to make lots of money, right?
True. It shouldn't be for the money.
It's very shameful to say because I want to make lots of money, I want to become a doctor.
Yeah.
It's very shameful.
Yeah, I think so. Well, if we look at the question, what do you think is an advantage of working as a doctor? You could say.
Let's be very materialistic and say, oh, because I can make tons and tons of money.
Okay.
Which is very realistic, actually.
All right, so you want to go with that one, and then I'll go with.
No,
like
I don't want to go with that one. That's really totally against my moral.
You want to go with the moral one? I'll go with the money. I'll play the money one.
알았어. 그러면 I'll say something like this. I can save people's lives.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
All right, so I'll say something different than him. So guys, listen to my answer first. All right. So. Give me the question first.
All right. What do you think is an advantage of working as a doctor? Back up your response with specific details.
All right. So I think there are several reasons, several advantages of working as a doctor. And most of all, there are several reasons to support my opinion. But most of all, it's very meaningful to save people's lives. Like, for example, I have an uncle named Tom, and he's a doctor, and he saves people. He doesn't just work at a hospital. He goes, like, abroad. He goes to places like Africa. He goes there every, once a month, and he cures people. He helps people. He treats people. He tries to support those people. And whenever I see him, I, admire him, and I get really inspired by him because he saves people's lives. He's very he's always giving. He tries to save people's lives, and I think it's very meaningful to make the world a better place. And that is why I think those are the advantages of working as a doctor. And that's why I think so.
All right.
So I'm just saying that people trying to save people and help people.
Okay. Let's go the money route.
All right. So that's my side of the story.
So that's one way you can go. Or you can go,
what do you think is an advantage of working as a doctor? Back up your response with specific details. Go.
I think the main advantage of working as a doctor is having a good job that pays a lot of money, and hospitals are always looking for doctors. So it'll be easy to get a job wherever I go, and I can make a lot of money. For example, I looked online for openings at a hospital nearby, and they're hiring for doctors in almost every department. And so I could work lots of hours and make a lot of money, and I wouldn't have to worry about looking for a job anywhere I go because doctors are needed everywhere in the world. So that's what I think is the biggest advantage of working as a doctor is I can make a lot of money and I can work wherever I want, and it's easy to find work.
That's so many reasons. I thought we were sticking with one reason, that you can make lots of money.
Well, it's money. Money and job security, I think they go hand in hand, right?
So the thing is this, like when you come to part 6, don't try to provide lots of different kinds of reasons. Just stick with one and try to provide an example for that. Like if I were to say about money, I would say I have an uncle who is Tom and who is the doctor. He is a plastic surgeon.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Surgeon. He makes fake noses. He makes people's chins. He, uses Botox or whatever he can to make people beautiful. And you know what? He makes lots of money. He makes people happy and he makes lots of money. So everybody's happy. So all in all, he's making lots of money and that's what's making him happy. So I think that's the biggest advantage of working as a doctor. I would make a specific, example about what's a good thing about working as a doctor. But you know what? The truth is, I don't have an uncle whose name is Tom. I don't have an uncle who is a doctor, or especially a plastic surgeon. I wish I do. But I don't have one. But, trying to give an example is a very important thing here. So that's the thing.
Yeah, even if you have to lie, make something up.
That's a good thing. Even if you have to lie, make something up.
Yeah.
All right, so here it says, Tongwon says.
Okay, we got what the doctor needs patients with their patients. You have to be patient, kind, and you're willing to take care of them well. All right, and then Tongwon says, part 6 부분들아, for example, 하루일을. Okay.
Hyun and Dongwon, I'm telling you, if you want to speak longer, if you want to say something longer, then you should tell a story. Storytelling is the way to go longer.
Yeah.
All right. And Moon TV says, 파트 6에서 할 말 없으면 어떡하죠? 한국어로 말하려고 해도 할 말이 없어요. 너무 많네요. You know what? That's why you got to make up some lies.
Yeah.
Episodes before you go take a test. It's crucial. It's mandatory.
Yeah, I think that is a really important thing and this question itself, I think, is unusual. What do you think is an advantage of working as a doctor? Usually there will be, an advantage of living in a big city, or living in a quiet town. But working as a doctor, it's not that common a job, and.
But they always ask about the job doctor, and it says Hyun이 plastic surgery를 beauty surgery라고 해도 돼요?
I've never heard it referred to as beauty surgery, but I think people would understand it.
But normally people would say plastic surgery.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think for part 6, what you got to do is just create some stories, have some lies prepared, and it's just similar to 소개팅, blind dates. You go out. Normally, people don't present yourself 100% who you are. You add on some stories and you sort of exaggerate who you are. You don't say, I'm an English teacher. You say, I'm a good English teacher, right? You don't say...
I'm an awesome English teacher, right?
you
might be good. I am awesome.
Yeah. So you have to sort of exaggerate and put more details into that. Or else, they're not going to understand. They're not going to know what you have to say. I mean, you have to have some things prepared. All right, so tonight we had Dan here together with us. Please say hello again.
Hello again.
I'm sorry, but he's not my husband.
Right, yes.
Sorry to disappoint you guys, but he is somebody else's husband. So once again, congratulations to you and Jihan.
Yeah.
박수 부탁드려요. Big round of applause. I hope their marriage goes long way, happily ever after. And by the way, guys, because we had a show this weekend, we're not gonna have a live show next weekend. But that's what the reason why we were here this weekend. But we're gonna be here once again before the end of this month. So please be there for us, with us. And Taeji, do you have any message for Taeji? He's taking a test soon.
Right, he's taking the test. So good luck on the test. And is this the first time he's taking it?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Okay, so I think
Taeji, Shimoda-san.
For Toddy?
Yes, you're gonna do your best. You're gonna do it right. Let us know how it went, and we're gonna be here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So, bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.